Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. How do I sound? Hopefully okay. Welcome to Found a Phantom, my show about Phantom of the Opera. And finally, I'm back doing a live, so hopefully you can join me and join the chat. And if you're watching this later, throw in a comment, like it, subscribe, do all the things. Help me beat the algorithm. Oh boy, I am so underprepared for today, but we're gonna roll with it. It's gonna be fun. Today, of course, I'm dedicating this one just to the book club because I didn't book a guest or anything, and I finally had the time to go live. Phantom Fridays, I picked it because it sounded good, but it's not always practical because things are always happening on Fridays. But I've been trying to get out, pre-recorded shows for you guys if I can. I think I've been pretty good at that so far. Stay tuned for more, and anytime I can go live, I'm gonna go live and it'll be fun. Of course, I've told you I am reading or rereading, or I'm using this version of Phantom of the Opera for this project, this book club project. It's the Essential Phantom of the Opera, edited by Leonard Wolf. It's great because it's super annotated and it's a new translation. And hey, what's up, Dana? Hope work is okay, doing okay. I'm talking about Phantom of the Opera, of course. And if anyone else is here, drop a comment, let me know you're here. And god dang, if you want to join the show, please, I will send you a link. You can come into my virtual studio with me. I definitely prefer to bounce off of people, but if I have to go solo, I have to go solo. Yeah. Chapter 1. That's what we are going to be discussing today. See, I did some work a couple weeks ago, but I'm a little underprepared. Today, I wanted to really review this documentary that I have about the Paris Opera ballet dancers. I've still never seen it. There's so much stuff in my Phantom collection that I still haven't even pulled out and watched. I've been collecting it. I know it'll be there for me at the right moment. And yeah, so maybe next week I'll get to that. I got my notebook of notes as well. Okay, let's see. Chapter 1 is when we really get into the story. I mean, the prologue, or what was it called? The preface? I always forget. Preface was sort of like a meta, Gaston as a character in the book, researching the book, and it's just kind of an intro and an overview of what we are prepared to see. Of course, Phantom of the Opera was published first as a serial in a Paris newspaper that Gaston used to be a reporter for. So that whole style of reading this as if it's really happening, I could see how people could read it like that, especially back then, because he was actually a reporter. So that's pretty cool. They know him from that, and now he's reporting about the Phantom of the Opera. Okay, chapter 1. Is it the Phantom? Is it? I bet you it is. Well, maybe not outside the door. That's a mystery. That's never been fully explained. So this starts, I think if this were, of course, my whole thesis is if this were a movie, what would it look like? I think the first couple chapters could be a great, just first act of a movie. or like long scene. It's been a long time since I saw The Godfather, but I do recall like the first half an hour or so was just like almost real time at like in a family event, right? That's kind of how this should roll, I think. And the pacing can be based, so I mean, of course, you'll have to edit it a little bit because it would just be like an entire movie on its own, but they provide you the soundtrack. You know what's happening on stage. There is a program basically, and you just throw those songs, that, and then write the script around that. How come nobody has done this before? You guys are crazy out there in Hollywood. Is it the Phantom? So yes, this is the evening when Messieurs Debonnier and Polingy, of course, I don't speak French, so I'm probably going to butcher all these names. I wanted to learn French in high school, but my parents convinced me to take Spanish because it was more practical. And that was probably a good idea because it is more practical. I really only wanted to learn French so I could read Phantom of the Opera in its native language and maybe visit one day and be able to communicate. Maybe one day, if anyone out there wants to teach me French or just like implant it in my brain, that would be really nice. So anyways, the retiring directors of the opera are putting on their last gala performance. So that's basically the first scene. And it starts out in the dressing room of La Sorelli, one of the principal dance personages. Is that a real word? Oh boy. And she danced, and it says danced in quotes because apparently, as we'll learn about La Sorelli, another character that I don't think has been in basically any adaptation, which is crazy. Supposedly a very nice looking young woman, but not maybe the best dancer. But that's not why people come to see her, as we will learn. And she danced Polycute. Oh boy, I'm probably pronouncing all this all wrong. Well, I pulled up a little thing here. Hold on, let me live editing. I know, it's great, right? Here we go. So this is Polycute. It's a drama in 5 acts by French writer Pierre Corneille. Yeah. So one act of the opera was performed under the I'm struggling with words today. Auspices of the Carthage Institute in the ancient Rome theater, making it the first modern performance to have taken place in that historic space. That's cool. Kind of unrelated. Oh wait, here we go. This is probably here's what they're really referring to, I'm sure. In 1878, Polycute was adapted into an opera by Charles Gounod. Of course, I keep saying of course, but he wrote Faust, which is going to factor very heavily in this story. The opera was not a success and is rarely performed except for a number of arias, including, I'm not going to try that one. Other works based on the play include a ballet, an opera. Cool. So this is what she danced. And the first scene actually, so I think that should be like the intro of the movie right there is her dancing to that, perhaps. And it starts in her dressing room. And this is what I wanted to look up before we started. Let's see if I can look up what the dressing rooms in the Paris Opera House look like. Danny to Jamie. Does anyone want to like do this for me while I'm talking? Drop a comment if you're here. Dressing rooms. Let's see if we can pull something up. A dressing room, the Palace Garnier. Well, we have some Pinterest here. Let's try that. I just want to get a sense of what we are looking at. And I don't think you can get into the dressing rooms on the Google Maps of the Opera House. So photos and videos it is. So that is a dressing room. I don't know if it's different for ballet. It's a Let's see. Oh, let's see what this says. Christine Daae's dressing room. Oh, no photos though. We'll come back to that maybe when we get to that part of the story. Oh, that's the same thing. See, this is what I wanted to review that documentary for. Maybe for next time. There's some backstage. Oops, opens up in a new window. Tricky. Backstage. All right, here's a little bit. I'm not sure if this is the Garnier or the other opera house in Paris, but all right, whatever. Let's go on, shall we? We're still on the first paragraph. So yeah, okay, the first footnote that the generous Leonard Wolf, editor of this edition, gives us on this chapter is about the managers. In the period that interests us, 1875 to 1915, there were 7 directors of the opera. Between 1907 and 1914, the director was André Messager, and his co-director was Lemestin Brausen. Messager, like one of the new directors, Firmin Richard, was also an accomplished composer of symphonies, ballets, and one famous opera, and was deeply involved in the musical life of France. He won a gold medal from the Society of Composers in 1875 for a symphony. He composed a cantata, Don Juan and Haidee, based on Byron's Don Juan. Some more Don Juans. And was the winner of a Ville de Paris second prize for another cantata, Prometheus Unbound, which I believe is the name of a movie that I have behind me in my Phantom Cave, which I forgot last time to put the light on. So now it's a little bit well lit, although I'm just kind of sitting right in front of it. And oh yeah, here's a note on polycute. I'm probably saying that wrong. UCTE, so it's cute but spelled differently. That's just how my mind is reading it. It's not, based on a play by Corneille. I need a translator for my bad French. This Gonard opera with a libretto, blah blah blah, was first performed at the Paris Opera on October 7th, 1878. Though its music has been admired, the opera, with its deeply Christian theme, has rarely been performed. All right, then. So we're at the retirement gala. That's where we are. We're backstage. And we're with La Sorelli, who just danced, and little James. The girl with the snub-nosed deer to Griven. Who's Griven? Let's find out. Let's see if we can find out who Griven is. There's no note about that. Oh. Griven is a museum in Paris. I see what he did there. I thought he was comparing it to a person. And forget-me-not eyes, rosy cheeks, and lily-white throat, her voice choked and trembling, who answered in 3 words, "It's the Phantom." That's the title of the chapter. So, okay, here's the description of the dressing room. For you set designers, when you're making the movie, Lussarelli's dressing room had an official and commonplace elegance. A cheval, big, I don't know what that means. Cheval glass. What is that? Find out. That's why we have Google. Oh, I didn't know what that was. But a cheval glass is a tall mirror fitted at its middle to an upright frame that can be tilted. So it's one of these. Okay, that makes sense. A couch, a dressing table, and closets made up the necessary furniture. And then portraits of Vestris de Gardel of Dupont and Bigottini. I hope you're entertained by me trying to pronounce these names. I'm thinking it's kind of like somebody now would put up a poster or something. So I like to think that this was the equivalent of hanging up a poster of your teenage heartthrob or whatever. But anyways, let's see who these people are, because we're going to be very thorough. Pure glass, that's what it says. Yeah, these translations are all a little bit different, and that's why it's disappointing that I can't read it in its native language to really understand it. So this guy, born of an Italian theatrical family, he studied dance at the Royal Academy of Paris. Anyways, let's imagine this is the portrait that's hanging in her room of this guy. And then we're not totally sure, I think, which Gardels he's thinking of in this, but I found one of them at least. A French ballet dancer and choreographer of German descent, the son of Claude Gardel, ballet master, to King Stanislaus Lezinski, an elder brother by 17 years of Pierre Gardel. So let's see. It's either one of these guys, right? So there's a portrait. And this is his brother, Pierre. I like to think that one's hanging up because he looks kind of theatrically cute. He was a French ballet dancer, ballet master, violinist, and composer. Yeah, great. These were the heartthrobs of Paris back in the day. Let me close some of these windows, get myself organized. Yeah. Here we go. Here's the next guy, I think. Pierre Samuel Dupont de Nemours. Is that who I'm looking up? Gardel of Dupont. Is this Dupont? I'm not sure. He's a French-American writer, economist, publisher, and government official. Well, that doesn't seem too appealing to be up in a young dancer's room. So if you know which Dupont, let's see, search Wikipedia for DuPont. Oh, yeah. It doesn't have a first name, so we don't know. But let's... Paris Opera Ballet. No, that's 1973. A little too late for this story. French composer. Maybe it's him. Known by his operas and chamber music. What about the year? This is a portrait in 1901. Could be him. I wish we had a little drawing portrait or painting portrait so we could get a sense of what it would look like in the dressing room. And one last guy or girl, Emily Bigotoni, daughter of Francesco Bigotoni, a famous harlequin at Paris's Comédie Italiane. She joined the opera ballet at age 17 and led its company until her retirement in 1823. Distinguished herself in the ballet, blah, blah, blah. Napoleon of France was one of her fervent admirers. And we know, right, that a whole section of the opera house was constructed just so Napoleon could have a private entrance. So that makes sense. So I'm imagining this is hanging up in La Sorelli's dressing room. Very cool, very cool. We did it. We got through the first few paragraphs. Let's see what else do I got here. La Sorelli's dressing room. Oh, we did that. Okay, okay. Oh, this is cool. The dressing room seemed like a place to the gamies of the Corps de Ballet. Gamins? I don't know what that means. Let's find out what that means. I am learning a lot today. Definition. Young woman with a mischievous, boyish charm. Or a female street urchin. Okay, so that makes sense. Because they're past the time singing, quarreling, and slapping the hairdressers and costumers and buying each other little glasses of cassis or beer or even rum. I don't know what cassis is. I'm imagining it's some kind of alcohol, syrupy liquor flavored with black currants and produced mainly in Burgundy. Yeah, so basically they're saying these dancers are running around backstage, getting drunk, being lewd, playing pranks on people, being mischievous, and we should see a lot of that in the movie, you know, like, because I'm imagining this as a movie. Nobody, I mean, you kind of get a little bit of that in the 1920s Lon Chaney movie with the girls all dancing around, but oh boy, they're not like visibly drunk or anything. That would be fun. Let's get some realism in here. Anyways, James, oh, you've seen him? She asked. Oh, La Sorelli is responding to little James. As clearly as I see you. The Phantom, they all spoke at once. The Phantom had appeared to them as a gentleman in evening dress who had stood suddenly before them in the corridor. So the Phantom's not exactly hiding too well on this night. Which is funny because you think the big reveal is going to be at the end, but really we see him all over the place starting from the beginning. And if this were a movie, it really should be like, it's going to sound weird, but Fight Club, where you have to watch it twice or three times to catch everything because the Phantom's everywhere and he's like a Where's Waldo of the movie. I think it should be like that. How come nobody's ever done that before? Like 30 Phantom movies and nobody's had like a Where's Waldo Phantom sort of, you know, everyone loves the Easter eggs these days, including me. And even before movies, I think my favorite Easter eggs was the Paul is dead thing. So, you know, not that they were actually planned very doubtably, but still it's a fun way to look at things and search things. That's true, that's true. And then we have translations of the language too, so blah blah blah. Let's see what else happens. Basically they are gossiping about the Phantom. and a description. Oh, so this is the famous description made by Joseph Bouquet, the chief stagehand who had actually seen him. He had bumped into him. One could not easily say nose to nose because the phantom had no nose. He had bumped into a mysterious person on the little staircase which descends near the ramp directly to the cellars. Do you think we can find that on Google Maps? Should we try? I should have tried to find these locations before I went live. But let's see how close we can get here. We are here in the Opera House. This is way by the roof, so not there. Let's see. No, that's probably closer. This is more of the ground level. On the little staircase, which descends near the ramp directly to the cellars. God, I wish I knew somebody who knew. Oh, it's probably somewhere more like in here, which is an under the stage area where probably Joseph Bouquet would be hanging out as a stagehand. Perhaps it's this staircase right here. Oh, that one's blurred. Something's blurred out there. Anyways, this is probably as close as we're gonna get. This seems like more like ladders than staircases. But I do love walking around these. It's so cool. Don't think they had all this electrical equipment yet. What's in here? Well, I can't find a spiral staircase, but there is a staircase and a mysterious room here. Well, where else can we go here? Is this it? I do love just like walking around the opera house. Of course, it'd be nice if I could start from the stage. Here we go. This is the stage. This is us on stage at the Opera House. We're not quite there yet, but the performance is happening. You can imagine all of these people watching this show. And so here's backstage more so. It's a huge fucking stage, god damn. And let's go back here. Is this a mirror? What is this? So this must be like, well, we'll get to this room later. Let's walk around backstage. That's what I want to do. How far can we get? Okay, well, we're on the side of the stage now. I want to find a circular staircase. That's what I want to find. Or maybe, what's back here? Oh, no, we were already over here, right? What about over here? What's over here? Yeah, sorry, I didn't prepare. But isn't it fun to look at the opera? Look at how the stage, I think, might be bigger or just as big about as the house. Okay, if this is on the first floor. I know there's circular staircases we can look at around here somewhere. Where's the grand staircase? I'm always losing that. I think this is looking over it, right? Go in here. No. Let's see if we go down a level or two. Closer. How do I get in there? There we go. Almost. We can go on the staircase, I think. Oh no, I lost it. I hope you enjoy watching me fumble around the opera house here. Can we go over here? I want to go over here. I want to go inside. I know you can. Just forget how to do it. It's like a game. So this is like a game, this Google Maps thing. Go into... no, almost. We were just here, right? So close, so close. Is it over here? Yes. We finally made it to the grand staircase. So here's a really large sort of circular staircase. And I think we can go down. No. Anyways, there's lots of staircases, and Joseph Bouquet saw the Phantom in one of them. Emily's in the house. We're talking about Phantom of the Opera tonight. Anyways, here's his description after I take a sip of my beverage. Aha. He's terribly thin, and his dress suit flows over a skeletal framework. His eyes are set so deeply that it's hard to see their pupils. In fact, one sees only two large black holes, as in the skulls of the dead. His skin is stretched over his bones like that of a drum. It's not white at all, but an ugly yellow. There's so little of his nose that, seen in profile, it's invisible. And the absence of that nose is something horrible to see. And all he has in the way of hair is 3 or 4 long brown hanks hanging down in front and behind his ears. So that's the famous description. Well then, oh yeah, so then we're talking about, I guess we're still gossiping in the dressing room, and they're talking about the firemen. And I love how Gaston Leroux's own footnotes to make this seem more real is, I love this absolutely authentic story from M. Pedro Galhard, the former manager of the opera. So this fireman went into the cellar to make an inspection. He reappeared on stage. Oh, we can go to the stage. That's one thing that we can do. We found the stage. Where's the stage? Oh, let me show it on here on the stream. I'm stumbling through the opera house again. I wish there was just a button to be like stage, staircase. Oh, here are some sort of circular staircases. Is that an elevator? No. Could be. Can we go up the stairs? Oh no, I'm lost again. I'm lost at sea. It's so easy to get lost in the opera house. It's so big. I should at least start remembering which floor has what things in it. Okay. Oh, here are some cool sort of circular staircases. But now I want to go in to the auditorium, back to the stage. I'm lost. Orchestra. Go inside, inside. Oh, okay. Well, we are stuck in a box here, I guess. That's how to get to the orchestra. Can I go through these doors? It's so cool, but it's not easy. I lost the stage. Whatever. I wanted to be on stage for this story. He reappeared on stage, pale, terrified, and trembling, and almost fainted into the arms of little James' noble mother, because he had seen a disembodied head of fire coming towards him at eye level. Of course, we know who that is, but we don't know the other mysterious shadow. We'll get to that much further along. Papin was the name of the fire lieutenant. And they start gossiping about how the Phantom has more than one head, which he changes at will, which is great for a ghost. It says, on the morning after the incident with the fire lieutenant, La Sorelli, surrounded by her dancers and followed even by the hordes of children in leotards, put a horseshoe on the table in the concierge vestibule, which anybody who was not a member of the audience had to touch before starting up the staircase. Can we find that? Can we find a picture? Let me see. Let me Google. What is it called? The concierge booth at the Palace Garnier. How cool would that be? It's probably not all that exciting. No, just really cool photos of the staircase mostly. Well, I imagine. Ugh, can we get back to the staircase? I keep getting stuck in these hallways. It's like I don't want to be in the hallways. I want to be in the main spaces. Oh, I'm stuck again. Go. How about up here? Up here. God, I spend so much time just. Oh, okay. We're back to the staircase. Staircase is on level 0. I'm saying that out loud to hold myself accountable. And now. Okay, I need to go to 0.5 to get here. Now I want to get back into the auditorium. Oh, well, that's a cool view. And very impressive, very cool. But that's outside. I want to go in here. This is ridiculous. Oh, well. More failing. The horseshoe, which, alas, like the rest of this story, I did not invent, can still be seen. Not anymore, but maybe that's one thing that Gaston Leroux liked to do, was to use actual fact and mix it into his fiction. So I'm sure that was a thing at some point in the late 1800s. Can be still seen on the vestibule table in front of the concierge booth if one enters through the administration courtyard. Let's see if we can find the administration courtyard. We could definitely go outside on Google Maps and check that out. Yeah, Google itself's not. Anyways, okay, we're on the roof. Here we are on the roof. We're stuck on the roof now. Forgot you could go into the roof. The famous roof of the Opera House. And this is, of course, we're nowhere near this part of the story, but there's the famous statue, right? Anyways, I want to get on the ground. Get me to the ground, man. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in the air. Okay. How about you just put me here? No, I'm back inside the Opera House. Want to go street view. Street view. All right, let me try this in a different window. I hope this is interesting to anybody but myself. Let's try this. Where's my little man? Well, we are on the street outside of the Opera House. Now, I don't know where the administration courtyard is, but we can walk around and take a look when it's not being blocked by public transportation. This might be it right here. Can we move a little bit over? Oh no, I'm on the roof again. How did that happen? That's crazy. Oh, jeez. Now I'm inside again. What the freak? Okay, good. I pushed back and now I'm back where I started. I want to get to the courtyard, which I guess I have to walk down the street a little bit more. I'm going to assume this is the courtyard and this is the entrance that they are speaking of. And what's this? What does this look like? Of course, this is more modern day. But wow, that's a very nice advertisement they have outside. I really want to go there one day and walk around myself. Okay, back to the book. Who's talking? James hurtled into the farthest corner of the wall and murmured one word, "Listen." Indeed, it had seemed apparent to them that a rustling could be heard behind the door. Not the sound of a footstep. Who's there? So they think they hear the phantom. Yep, just phantom stuff. Hey, this is my phantom show. What's up, Melly Mel? My killer podcast in the house. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so on Phantom Fridays, I talk about the Phantom of the Opera, and this is my Phantom Cave. You can only see the surface of what's in here, but it's a whole lot of movies and CDs and DVDs and toys and books, of course. And we're doing book club today. I'm going deep diving into chapter 1 of The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. If that interests you at all. I know you know I love Phantom. One day you're going to be on the show. We got to talk about Danse Macabre. Did you watch it yet? I haven't. I mean, I've seen it a long time ago, but I haven't watched my Blu-ray yet. I'm waiting for the right moment. Well, let me know if you did. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But we'll deep dive on that one day. We'll have to do maybe a two-parter or a really long episode about the 1989 Robert Englund and its counterpart of sorts, Danse Macabre. Yeah. So who's behind the door? Lo Sorelli goes to open the door armed with a dagger. That's a great movie moment. How come nobody's ever shown the ballet dancers with a freaking dagger? That's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to schedule that, and that's what I'm saving it for too. I want to do my homework right before the thing, and that'll be cool. Hell yeah. Finally watch some movies. Today I'm just talking about literature and the movie that I wish would be made. That's the whole point of this show, really, is to celebrate and make fun of phantoms of all kinds, but also project the movie that I wish someone would make, or miniseries. I think it'd probably work better as a miniseries, right? Get all the details in there. And she opens the door, and Meg Geary, and I only saying it like that because that's what they call it in the play, right? And that's where we get most of our pronunciations of these characters from. And it's her mother. Oh. No, it's not her yet, but she says, "Mama, Mama." Lo Sorelli looks courageously into the hallway, but it was empty. A butterfly of flame in its glass prison cast a bizarre red glow over the passing shadow. but did not dissipate them. There's no one there because the phantom is, either not there and just, or he's passing through the walls, of course, as the phantom does. Here we go. Here's my favorite description of La Sorelli. La Sorelli is an imposing, beautiful dancer whose face is at once grave and voluptuous, and whose figure is as supple as a willow branch. It is commonly said of her that she is a beautiful creature, her hair blonde and pure as gold crowns a forehead beneath which her emerald eyes are set. Her head is balanced gently as an egret on her. What's an egret? I feel dumb. These are not the most common. Oh, it's a kind of a bird. That's an egret. Gotcha. Gently as an egret's on her long, proud, and elegant neck. When she dances, her hips make a certain indescribable movement that sets her whole body trembling with an ineffable languor. When she raises her arms and leans forward to begin a pirouette, accenting thereby the outline of her bosom, and causing the hips of this delicious woman to sway, she appears to be in the tableau so lascivious that it could drive a man to blow his brains out. What? How? You'd think she's the main character. We haven't even been introduced to the main character yet. But yeah, hello, if you're making a movie, this is the perfect description for like your dumb blonde dancer character. Nobody's done that. Somebody do that. Yes, it's a bird. Now I know that. Speaking of brains, this is my favorite line just because it's so catty. Gaston, you crazy man. Speaking of brains, it was known fact that she had hardly any, but no one ever reproached her for that. So she's a dumb blonde dancer with supple bosom. Yes. And then they start talking about if anyone has seen him. And Gabriel saw him too. The choir master, Gabriel. Gabriel was in the stage manager's office. So this could be all like flashbacks, I guess, to times that people have seen the Phantom. Gabriel was the stage manager's office. All of a sudden, the door opened and in came the Persian. The Persian who has the evil eye. I need a little drink because I'm just talking to myself tonight. Usually I'm bouncing off of somebody. Well, as soon as the door opened for the Persian, Gabriel leaped from the armchair in which he was sitting all the way over to the closet so they could touch the iron lock. So there's lots of superstitious touching of irons and horseshoes and things like that. I guess it was much more of a superstitious time. I don't know too much about it, but then again, this was 100+ years ago. In making the leap, he tore a whole piece of his vest on a nail. In his hurry to get out, he banged his head on a clothes peg and gave himself a huge bump. When he backed abruptly away, he scratched his arm on a standing screen next to the piano. He wanted to lean against the piano, but his movement was so awkward that unfortunately, the cover fell and crushed his fingers. He bounced out of the office like a madman and ran down the stairs so clumsily that he tumbled down the entire first flight on his back. I've never seen that in a movie. That sounds like a very entertaining scene, don't you think? Hello, come on, someone make this. Put the coffin in there too, man. Nobody does that anymore. Where was this? Because I want to try to look up this location. Oh, and there's a note about the evil eye. Uh, just oh. Yeah, okay, these notes are just nuts because it's referring to where is it? Evil eye. Gesture against the evil eye. So I guess they gesture against the evil eye. And there are several the note is there are several kinds of gestures against the evil eye. I'm not even going to try to do them because I don't know. It's not showing me the hand motions, it's just describing them. But the first one concludes with it has two, the implications of sexual insult, since in Europe, the fig is perceived as representing the female genitals. Okay, how about the second gesture? The nano cornuta is notorious as a sign indicating that the man pointed at with it is a cuckold. Okay, that's more information than we need for the Phantom of the Opera, but thanks, Leonard Wolf, editor of The Essential Phantom of the Opera, with maybe too many notations, but I'm here for it. It's definitely entertaining. How about that? Can we see the offices of the Palace Garnier or what? I should just copy and paste Palace Garnier so I can stop typing it. Offices. I want to see them. Mm, not really, but this is always interesting. Self-guided tour. No, where's the photo that I wanted? I don't know what this says. Oh, a children's games experience. This could be the whole next episode. It's not letting me copy image address. I want a big version of this. That's pretty cool. I'm sure there's more detailed ones. Still don't see the offices. I want to see the offices. There's no pictures of the offices. Manager office. Oops. I don't see any. That's too bad, because I'd love to. It's going to be important for the magic envelope chapter later on, but I guess not. Okay, back to the book. So that whole thing happens with the choir master, and he says, "Thank God for letting me off so lightly." Because what he saw behind the Persian was the phantom with his death's head, just as Joseph Bouquet described him. So we see him again in a flashback. And Joseph Bouquet would do better than to keep still, Meg Jury says. So she's saying, don't talk about the ghost because he might F you up. And she describes that her mother is his box keeper. It's the first box, number 5. And I keep forgetting which box that actually is. So I've seen the inside of it all the time. Here we go. Box 5, the Phantom's box. Ah, open it a new window. Pinterest is good for this. Okay, so it's this one. Let's try to find that on Google Maps. Okay. Oh, where are we? We are way on the 6th floor of the Opera House. How do I get in to the auditorium again? No, not that way. I really need to just bookmark the auditorium, the staircase, the lake. You can see the lake on Google Maps as well, but it's sort of hidden, as it should be. I'm just walking around. How do I get in? I mean, it would definitely be get your steps in if you were here really walking around the Opera House. It is quite big. Okay, I want to be all the way over here. Okay, we're closer. How do I get inside? I was there before. I'm so close. I'm right outside of it. Oh my God, I'm just wasting so much time walking around. Can I go down? I'm gonna try for like 2 more seconds and then I'm gonna move on. Amphitheater. Yes, let me into the amphitheater. How do I get in there? Oh, killing me, man. Orchestra. Oh, I'm closer. Oh my God, I did it. I'm back. I'm bookmarking this. Bookmark this tab. Great. So this is the Phantom's box right here. Yeah. Yep. There it is. That's where the Phantom sits. Pretty good view. I think they said part of it's blocked a little bit, but okay, finally, we are here in the auditorium. And it's the first box, number 5. You know, it's the box nearest the left-hand side of the stage. Really? Oh, well, I guess not including this box here, because that seems to be the closest box. What box is this? Any experts in there? Can you tell me? On grand tier next to the stage box. Oh, so this must be the stage box? I don't know the difference, but it looks a little fancier. Is there one on the other side? Yeah. So there, that must be box 5. And look, I think we are inside of it now. Almost. Yes. How cool is that? Well, it was a box. Is it box 5? I can't see. That's cool though. That's what the boxes look like. So, yeah. This is probably the stage box that we're looking from, but it's still cool. Oh yeah, I get it. I see, because we're actually on stage here. Can we get into box 5? I know, like, I think you can see it from the hallway. Okay. Well, let's see what happens if we walk down the hallway. Go out, out. Can't see which box it is on the door. Oh, there it is. Yes, box 5 is right here. You can't go into it on Google Maps, though. They really messed that one up. I mean, everyone wants to go into box 5. Come on, Google Maps. Get your shit together. Okay, we're almost through chapter 1, and it's only been 59 minutes. Not too bad, huh? Here we go. I'm skipping around. Just then, heavy and hurried footsteps were heard in the corridor. and a breathless voice called, "Cecile, Cecile, are you there?" "That's my mother's voice," says James. "Ah, Joseph Bouquet. He's dead." Uh-oh. We have our first murder. Or is it a suicide? No, I'm pretty sure. I think he fell into a trap, so it's inadvertent murder, as we will learn later, I guess. The worst of it is that the stagehands who found the body claim to have heard a sound like the death song. The death song? Is there a the death song that's not a Marilyn Manson song? Death song. Oh, let's go straight to Marilyn Manson. Is there a particular death song? I mean, what they're hearing is the phantoms in his home playing a eulogy, I suppose, but I don't know if it specifies the specific song. Well, Sorelli was pale. I've never been able to make my speech. Oh yeah, the whole time she's trying to practice her speech to read to the managers because it's their gala, farewell gala night performance. The hastily improvised inquest gave no details beyond calling the death a natural suicide. Don't think so. And then they go into the memoirs of the director, which is totally fictional, but it sounds nice. I suddenly saw the administrator Mercier come in. He was terribly disturbed, as he had informed me that they had just discovered the body of a stagehand hanging in the third sub-basement of the stage between a flat and a piece of scenery from The King of Lahore. You know what we're going to do, right? I don't know if you can get into this third cellar onto Google Maps, but we can look up this play. La Rue de Lahore is an opera in 5 acts by Jules Massenet to a French libretto by Louis Gallet. It was first performed at the Palace Garnier, that's where we're chilling, in Paris on April 27th, 1877, in costumes designed, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So we can imagine maybe a set piece like this in the third basement is around where he was found hanging. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's see. On Google Maps, you can only get into the second basement. So there must be a staircase somewhere that goes down further. Maybe in this door. Or maybe it's a trapdoor somewhere. Can we go to the other side here? Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, we didn't see this side of the room before. I think this is where the lake is sort of too, right? Could be wrong. These stairs only go up, so maybe you can't access the third sub-basement from this here. But it's somewhere. The Opera House is huge, and Google Maps only, as cool as this is, it only brushes the surface of what's actually in there. Let's see if we can look up third sub-basement, Palace Garnier. Of course, I spelled it wrong. Oh, guide to Paris Opera Garnier inside the Phantom's lair. Let's see what this does for us. Yeah. Outside. History. There's the architect. Okay, I want the basement. We're still outside. There's our statue that we were on the roof looking at before. There's the staircase. That's the grand foyer. We're gonna be there very soon in this scene. I think in the next chapter or two is where that plays out. The auditorium. Yes. Staircase. I want to see the basement. That's Broadway. That's the actual chandelier, I guess. There's the roof, the stage. That's not what I'm looking for. I want to go down to the basement. I think that led us. That was a red herring. That did not work out. Oh well. Can we? Let's see. Google Images. Well, that's the lake. But we can see that on a Google map. We're not quite there yet. But no sub-basements. Wah, wah. Hey, if anyone knows where I can find cool stuff like that, let me know and link it to me, because I would like to look at that, and I think you would too. Anyways, the ballet was in progress. The lead dancers in the chorus took precautions against the evil eye. Oh, there's where that notation came from. It was on the other page. So they go back to find the body with no rope. The rope is gone, the murder weapon. I imagine that someone might have had an interest in seeing the rope disappear after it had done its work. We will see later whether I am wrong to have imagined such a thing. The dreadful news spread quickly throughout the opera, where Joseph Bouquet was much loved. The boxes emptied out, and the little dancers gathered around La Sorelli like fearful sheep around their shepherd, made their way to the lounge through corridors and poorly lit stairways as fast as their pink stockinged legs could carry them. End of chapter 1. We did it! It probably takes about an eighth of the time of this episode to actually read that. Let's see if I have any other notes that I missed as I take a sip. And if anyone's watching, probably not live, but in the replay, and wants to join me to talk about a specific chapter, please do. I'd prefer to bounce off of somebody. The Sorellis, yes, the paintings in the dressing room, Death's Head, yeah, the chorus master, don't talk about the Phantom. Yeah, I think we did it. And guess what else I did today? I finally, although it could probably be mixed a little bit better in the future, I finally finished my theme song, which the music was created by my brother Evil Kitty Keith, and then I finally added the vocals today. So guess what? We found a phantom. Found a phantom. Found a phantom. Found a I didn't really find a phantom anywhere this week. Actually, I did. I didn't prepare for it though. Let's see, where would I have put that? I found another late night Phantom joke, actually. So, of course, you know, if, oh no, I'm not signed in on this window. Gosh darn it. Vonesper Studios. Let me log in. Let me see if I can find it. I hope you enjoyed one of my previous videos. Oh no, it's gonna... Okay, let's try it over here. My previous video in which I showed the last 2 years of late night TV Phantom of the Opera jokes. And I found another one, I think last week, this week maybe. Let's see if I can find it again. I know I saved it to my playlist, my private playlist. Uh-oh, it's a Stephen Colbert, so if I play it, it'll probably get... I had to remove the Stephen Colbert from my last video because YouTube stopped me. But I can show you where to find it. Share screen, live editing. Oh yeah. Here we go. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, August 10th, 2022. And if you look this up and you watch it, I'm not going to play it here because I don't want to have my video removed. But there's a Phantom joke in there, so I found a Phantom for this week. And also, the other thing I wanted to show was the Instagram of Broadway's Phantom of the Opera. Had an interesting post, I thought, that somebody brought to my attention. Thank you very much. Keep sending in your Phantom news to me because sometimes I miss it. But look at this. A virtual open call for Raoul on Broadway. I guess someone's looking to retire of being Raoul. You'd think they'd have them just like lined up to go, right? But hey, if you are a Broadway level singer, submit a video of you and maybe you will be the next Raoul on Broadway. And then if you heard it from me, you got to give me free tickets to come see it, right? Right? Cool. Glad we agree. That's it. That's all I got for you. It's not going to be a 2-hour show or a 3-hour show this week. So we made it over an hour, though. We didn't do too bad. I hope you enjoyed Book Club Chapter 1. Maybe we'll do Chapter 2 next week. I forget if I'm out on a Friday night or not next week. And again, if I have Phantom news, send it to me. If you think you'd be a good guest on the show, let me know. I'm open to talking to fans and creators and other people who just want to talk about Phantom of the Opera stuff. And tell me what your favorite thing is and we'll talk about it. How about that intro one more time? Because it's new. Well, the video is not new, but the audio is. Found a Phantom, found a Phantom, found a Phantom. Yes, those were all hand-drawn by me some years back when I tried to launch the show, The Phantom Phenomenon, and only got through one episode. That's episode 1 of this show if you want to go watch that. Thank you for joining me, and have a fantastic with a P Friday. I think someone else says that. I need a tagline. If you got any ideas, have a Phantom Friday. Just a Phantom Friday, whether it's good or bad. Just have one. Bye.